pretty good middle linebacker, Jonathan Vilma, is obviously in the NFL, and he had an interesting take on a gay player coming out in his league. Firstly, London Fletcher had this to say, Washington Redskin, and what seems like a fantastic player every single year because he's still playing at like 68 years old.
John Carroll University.
Where did he go?
John Carroll University in Cleveland, Ohio.
Did he really?
Small school.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's such a stigma with gay and homosexuals within male sports. It would be very difficult for that first person to come out. And then Jonathan Vilma, right afterwards, says this: I think that he, as in the gay player coming out, would not be accepted as much as we think he would be accepted. I don't want people to just naturally assume like, oh, we're all homophobic. That's really not the case. Imagine if he's the guy next to me and, you know, I get dressed, naked, taking a shower, the whole nine, and it just so happens he looks at me. How am I supposed to respond?
What the fuck?
I'm glad that's your reaction.
I was like, oh, you think he was? I feel like when I heard a quote of someone like, not every gay man like wants you. Like, you're on the street, if you see a homosexual man, he doesn't mean he's like wants to have sex with you. He doesn't want you. Like, I feel like that's what he thinks. Like, he thinks because I'm getting undressed and he's gonna undress me with his eyes, and he's gonna, you're like, chill the fuck out.
And he's just
like,
gonna seduce you.
Come on, man, get over it. They'll be like, yes, okay, there's a stigma in the locker room and stuff like that, but I don't think.
What is the stigma? What is the stigma?
I mean, obviously, there's a stigma about being macho and a man, and like if you have a gay male's out and he's out and out of the closet and everything, and he's in the locker room, there's going to be for sure some people that are against it, religious wise, and there's they're allowed to believe what they want to believe, and so there's going to be some. I wouldn't say there's going to be a divided locker room, but there's going to be some players that just don't approve of it. That's fine. But when he says something like, "Oh, if I get undressed and he's looking at me crazy," I'm like, "Come on, dude."
You're on the same team.
He's probably cool as heck. He's probably like, there's no like, he's not making a team riff, but you think because he's changing next to you that he's going to check you out. I'm like, that's the last thing you should be worried about in the locker room of, you know what I'm saying, like your homosexual teammate that's checking me out and like, I'm going to shout, like, relax, man. We know you're probably married, you have kids, like, great. You okay with your manhood that you can get changed in front of a man? Like,
so basically what you're saying is Jonathan Vilma is not comfortable with himself at all. Is that kind of what you're saying?
He's not comfortable with himself, and maybe he's not. I mean, obviously he's not comfortable with homosexuals, which is fine. But I mean, you believe what you want to believe, but I think this.
Well, it's not necessarily fine, but
which is fine with his belief.
Right.
Like whatever you want, you're allowed to believe. You're allowed to believe what you want to believe. But I mean, I just hate when they use like certain situations, like if I'm changing and he's changing and he might look at me like, shut the fuck up. Like, come on, dude.
Again, imagine if he's the guy next to me and, you know, I get dressed naked, taking a shower, the whole nine, and it just so happens he looks at me. How am I supposed to respond? There are many ways to respond. Or you just don't.
Are you going to fight him because he looked at you all crazy? Like, come on, dude. Like, the thing about it is just stupid. That's what I think. And I mean, sooner or later, there's going to be one, and it's probably
hopefully
very sooner than later, and people are going to have to deal with it, and they're going to adjust. And
is the only way it appears for this person to come out and for the team to be successful, for the entire franchise, what have you, the players to be successful together, is if he is successful as an individual on the field. It seems like that is the only way. Like Michael Vick was given a second chance because he was doing fairly well. I truly believe that if he was not doing well, they would have ripped him a new asshole over and over and over again. Whether it was the media or it was unnamed sources who actually come out of the same locker room and are his fellow teammates and whatnot. The only way it appears to win over people is to win individually.
Well, yeah, I think I want to think that this, even though just homosexuality in America is such a huge topic now, but I feel like I want to compare this to saying a gay player comes out and he's playing, I would compare it to maybe like a Tim Tebow, where it's just going to be a spectacle. You know what I'm saying? Like wherever he goes, it's going to be a spectacle.
Is that why Jason Collins hasn't been signed yet by any NBA team?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But I mean, like some organizations, even it doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be because of a gay player, because of a Tim Tebow effect. Like it's just a unexpected spectacle that they don't want to be put on their team. Sure. You know, unfortunately, like it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Like it shouldn't be. It's like, Okay, great. Let's play football. And if he produces on the field, I feel like 98% of the guys on the team are going to accept him for whatever.
Absolutely, but he needs to succeed. That's the only way, it appears. At least to me personally. I mean, we've seen it through history.
think in general on a team, a player has to succeed. I mean, obviously there's way more pressure, but if a player can't put up, he's not going to be if a player is not doing well on the field, he's not as accepted as a player that's producing with the team. Because all of a sudden, if a player's doing well, their teammates are more, going to trust him more.
They're going to rally around him.
Absolutely. So the guy's just you can be like, I'll see you probably next week because you're going to get cut. Then that's it. I'll see you later. Either way, it doesn't matter what your sexuality is or what your race is or what anything is. It just depends if you can play or not. Sure. Like you said, if he puts up and he plays well, obviously it's going to be a way bigger story then. It's going to be and he plays well, and then it's everywhere, wherever he goes, visiting stadiums, and I mean, it's a huge topic.
But as long as your teammates have your back, it doesn't matter what all those other people are saying.
Oh, it never matters. Yeah. It's like your family in there.
Yeah.
And your teammates hold you down as much as you hold them down. So it's kind of, like I said, it wouldn't be easy for the first guy, but whoever the first person is, more power to him. I'm prideful, and I feel like whoever it is going to be a very dominant player.